Hello there, how are you? I hope you're doing good. My name is Wambui Kavanaugh, Charity Wambui Kavanaugh, and I am a life, dating, and love coach to high achieving single women over 40 who are desiring to meet the love of their lives. So, I specifically have noticed there's a group of women who tend to reach out to me, and maybe this is you. As you listen to this, you might resonate with this. And these are women who tend to be Christian ladies or even Muslim ladies, basically women of faith. And their main challenge is that they haven't dated in a long time. So they are over 40 and they haven't dated in a long, long time. What does this look like? It could look like a lady in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who've had maybe two or three relationships across decades. And these relationships never worked out. And so they go for periods of time where they just don't date. Um, they just don't date. So if this is if you hear this and you're like, that sounds like me, then this video is exactly for you. So I always lead with my story because I believe that there are women who resonate with me with it. So I never dated for 10 years, from my early 20s to my late 30s. I never dated. Why? I don't even think it matters why, but for me, I was more scared of making a mistake. I was very deep in some religious ideology that wasn't very accurate. So I had the idea that my next relationship should not lead to pain. It should not cause any issues in my life, that I should be sure that this person is serious before I get into a relationship with him. And of course, nothing wrong with that per se, only that it's not possible to know from the get go if somebody is going to be, a good person or not, is going to make, you're going to be in a good relationship or not with this person. You can't just know beforehand unless, first of all, you take a risk. But there's an important step that comes before that. And I think this is the gap. This is the gap that is missing. This is the gap that you may not know exists. And that's what I want to highlight in this video today. So, to be in a successful and happy relationship, obviously you have to meet the person, fall in love, and they have to align with what you want. But before that, you have to be ready for a relationship. Now, readiness is not a feeling. It's not a feeling of being ready. Desiring to be in a relationship is not being ready for a relationship. Feeling lonely and wanting to be in a relationship is not being ready for a relationship, right? At least in the way I define it. Being ready for a relationship takes a conscious effort and plan and roadmap and work on very specific areas of readiness. And some of them is what I want to cover in my YouTube videos moving forward for a while, because I think that I talk to women all the time and they're like, oh, I'm ready, or some say I'm not ready. But I've realized they think that it's a feeling. So a couple of aspects of readiness is your life vision and your purpose, your requirements of a relationship, the needs that you have for a relationship, your relationship patterns, being aware of them, um, um, your your emotional issues, right? Emotional issues that could be there. So there's so many aspects of what it means to actually get ready, and this is what I coach on. Every woman who works with me, contrary to whatever I might share on social media that might benefit everybody, everyone who works with me, the first step is to work on relationship readiness. And we take almost 3-4 months to do that, even before you start dating. So, and I just want to make that clear. I know this is maybe not the content that may sell in terms of marketing and things like that, but I really wanted it to be very clear that it's important for you to get into to get into that state of being ready. So, like I was saying, that's the work I do with my clients, and we take about three months. And once we are done with that process of readiness, and that's what I'm going to be sharing in the next videos to come, um, is what what is what I wanted to emphasize on. So typically I'll ask my clients not to date during that time, and it's so interesting is that when we are done, they're like, oh my god, this is so clear. It is so clear to me what went wrong, why I'm still single. And actually, some of them realized that there are actually some good guys who they met before that they did not consider because the aspect of readiness was not aligned, right? Anyway, so what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that if you haven't dated in a while, and if it's been years since you dated, the first gap to close is becoming consciously ready so that you do not make the mistakes that you made. So I'm going to be sharing on that a little bit. So today I want to talk a little bit about vision and purpose and its role in readiness. So if you're single and over 40, I can almost guarantee that what you wanted in your life when you're in your early 20s or 30s or early 40s if you're 50 and 60 is not what you want now. And it's important for you to get crystal clear on how you want to live the rest of your life. Very, very important. And what are the things that are important for you? Not only in terms of a relationship, but other aspects of your life. So if you're in your 40s, you probably have maybe 20 years before you retire if you're employed, if you're in business, depending on where you are in your business, you might have a vision for, hitting certain revenue goals, building your empire, and at some point, maybe slowing down. I don't know what that looks like. And so that's one of the differences between when you are looking at vision and life purpose when you're in your early 20s and 30s and now that you're in your 40s. So it's very different, and it's important for you to clearly map out what that looks like. Why? Because the person that you're eventually going to be with is going to fit into that role. They're going to fit into that, not role, they're going to fit into your life. They should fit into it perfectly like a glove, and even come and augment it and make it, make you go farther and farther. So if you haven't clarified what your life vision is, and life vision is simply it's just following that inner like GPS system that like this is what I want to accomplish in every area of my life, or this is how I want to live my life. And also like clearly identifying to yourself, what do I want my life to count for? So this is just the first and the most basic step. And I can't overemphasize this enough. If you're like, I'll just take for me as an example, when I was single, what actually changed the trajectory of my life is when I hit my mid-30s, and I just wasn't happy with my life. I wasn't happy with my career. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I was an accountant back then. And I just knew there was something more, but I could not articulate it. I also wanted love, but I also felt so stuck that this not knowing what my life would look like and how I wanted to really live my life was more pressing even than finding somebody. And that's what led me to hire my first life coach. So my first life coach is the person who helped me realize that my current job is out of alignment. I was an auditor back then, CPA and accountant, was completely out of alignment with my natural talents and giftings and what I was drawn to, which was people and helping people and help them problem solve and helping them, become, kind of like achieve the highest potential in their lives. Like that is what I knew that I was very and naturally good at. So that started the journey for me to deciding, okay, I need to transition into life coaching. And I was like, wow. And that was a pivotal point for me because I realized, oh my God, I'm in the wrong profession. Here I am. I have a master's degree. I have a CPA, professional certification, certified public accountant. I have a degree. I have all this work experience. And I just start to feel so out of alignment, but starting to understand what my value system is and that I want to spend the rest of my life doing work that aligns with my value system. And that's what made me hire my first life coach. And I realized, okay, apply for coach training because I realized this is life coach training because I realized this is what I want. So when I started doing my life coach training, it was a year-long program, never forget. That was 2015. It was the best year of my life. And that's when I came face to face with who I am and what I wanted. And I created a vision for my life, what I wanted to do in 5 years, what I wanted to achieve. And also I created a vision for my love life. And since from that year is when things started moving so fast, I transformed radically in terms of who I am, and I started to just look at life differently. I started to live my life for me. I started to do things that I'd never had done before. And in the process, without cutting a long story short, I met my husband when I gave myself permission to date. So this 1 year transformational program that I went through is what set the stage for me to live the life of my dreams, to meet the man of my dreams. Right now, I'm a full-time coach. I've been a full-time coach for the last 5-6 years. And it's so funny because my husband, when we met, he didn't even know what a life coach is. He didn't know what a life coach is. And he was like, okay, yeah, but whatever whatever you want, I want us to get married. And I think there's so many coaches in the US and you're going to have a great, fantastic coaching career there. And he was so supportive and very encouraging. And he was like, I don't even want you necessarily, you don't need to work in corporate if that's not what you want. You can just do exactly what it is that you desire to do. And I had the support to go into full-time coaching. And what I'm trying to say with this is that the person that you meet aligns with your vision, aligns with your life purpose. They actually should, and you have that power. But if you don't have that awareness, you're gonna settle for any person out there who comes to derail your life purpose, who comes to derail your vision. So the first aspect of readiness that I want to talk about today is life purpose and life vision. And if you want to be very conscious in creating the vision and the purpose that draws in the kind of love that you desire, I can help you with that. Please feel free to reach out. I have a link I put in my description of this video that has a link in which you can schedule a call and we can talk more about that, and I can tell you how I can help you. Otherwise, I hope you're having a great day. It's February here. It's cold. We're waiting for Valentine's Day. It's the month of love. And I hope to connect with you tomorrow. So one of the challenges that I've given myself is to share a video like this every day, at least 5 days a week, because I just feel like I have so much to say, so much to share from my heart to those who might actually benefit. And that's the challenge I give myself. And hoping that you can also resonate with what I'm teaching, and that can also help you in some way. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.